Wonderful. Good luck with that. Dread. Yeah, so we figured out that the animals are eating out of the grain storage and they're eating off the haystack directly. But keeping those filled up relies on haulers. Now in this map I've got tons of grass to get rid of, I've got everything, so I don't mind if they're eating out of the grain stack. I prefer them to eat out of the grain stack because then I don't have to process it and get this with the hay. This is what's happening because I'm making so much extra. So the premise of this was to have a grazing area. And the dogs are in the barns looking after the animals are mostly in this grass and in the middle. And then the wolves, everything else, are going to get targeted through these little choke points and the dogs are going to eat them automatically. That was the plan. And it kind of works, but some wolves are just rolling around the place sometimes. So we're not getting attacked though because we've got loads of... They've got other food around now because I've put all grass around. Anyway, the point is with the barn, what I've ended up doing is I've got one haystack for hay only, and that's level 10. So they can easily top up if they want, they can eat that. But if the haulers aren't running, if the haulers are doing something else, then the farmers are still going to fill up these trays, and they only have to come here to get their thing because the haulers are keeping this filled up with just hay, seed. So it's kind of like a bit of both, and because you can have just this in the barn without any of the troughs, but like I said, if your haulers aren't on top of the list, then that will empty out and not get filled up, and then your animals starve. Yeah, well you can lock off various, you see what I've got here, I've got this one is just to hold the hay seed. But the other thing is, it's like, because I've got the two barns, I've got two planting areas as well. So I want to have a grain store available to my people that are planting oats near to where they get to, because I don't want them walking all the way back here every time they want to get a handful of grain and then all the way back here. So having a specialised, this is level 10 grain store just for oats, and it's really here for these fields to get planted out of. Alright babe, see you soon. So these are the new rugs. Quickly show you before you go. Rugs are on the beds. The beds are deciding what you want to have on there by this. We're making everything like this in the tailoring shop, and I think they look gorgeous. They're just so nice. They go on the walls, and down here I've started building a big tartan rug. Isn't it gorgeous? So we've got these mats, I'm using them around the doors, they kind of seem to, yeah. So these tartans can get placed on the bed. I'm short on it, I'm trying to build up my sheep population now. Yes, it's new today, Dread. The furs came out 3 or 4 days ago, I think. The furs get in place. You can see they're on the walls here. Now they don't go on the walls underneath, only on the sides and the up walls. But that's fine. And they stack. You can see how they stack underneath various things, which is really nice. They will catch fire, so be careful where you put them. I think they look great. Really nice. And I can't wait to fill up this house with plaid. And the other thing I'll show you here, I've got a cheese factory, and this is only working because the hauling is they're on top of the hauling. So I have them bring the fresh buckets. This only accepts full buckets of milk, and they get bought here on priority. So as soon as the cows get milk, they bring the buckets here, and then somebody's on cheese, and then more people bring buckets. And this is how we're getting fresh cheese every day. And see, this is only for empty buckets to store. What I've had to do is, if you do control click on one cow, you can select all of them. You don't have to worry about if you can see them or not. And I've found that by making them 7, that's higher than the planting, that gets them milked quicker than any kind of grass farming going on. And it's well worth doing for things, the goats, the cows and the sheep, to get their make sure their wool gets cut as soon as it's grown. I put them all on 7. So I've got all the babies being born in batches, which makes it easy to keep up to date with everything being